I've done several videos talking about, but I'm going to do one more. Talking about RFK Jr. and why he stepped out of the race. Why was Donald Trump so anxious for him to why they want to do it, why they picked the time that they did it, and everything. Well, Donald Trump was hoping to capitalize at the end of the DNC, which ended Thursday. RFK dropped out Friday. He was hoping to have a similar effect to what happened when Joe Biden, the sitting president, said, "I'm not seeking a second term, and I endorse Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democratic nominee for president." He was hoping that would have a similar effect, that he would get this big bump in popularity and it would catapult him. Beyond that, a lot of people are thinking this may be a close race, especially in the swing states. And if RFK Jr. is pulling 2 or 3% of the vote, Donald Trump was hoping that those 2 or 3% are going to swing to him. Now, some will. A big chunk will not. They will pick another third party candidate, or they will actually back Vice President Kamala Harris. They were supporting RFK Jr. mostly because he wasn't Donald Trump, wasn't Joe Biden. Maybe they couldn't bring themselves to vote fully for a Democrat, but they did not like Trump. That's the only reason he was relevant. But Donald Trump is desperate. He's very desperate to win. He knows he is going to lose, or he's afraid of losing, which is why he's trying all of this stuff. Now, in a couple days, RFK dropping out is going to be old news. It's going to be forgotten. You're not going to hear much about him having endorsed Donald Trump anymore. It's not going to become a thing. And who knows, with how RFK is, he kind of alluded to the fact that maybe he might jump back in the race. So we'll see what happens. But ultimately, he is just there to be a spoiler candidate. He was trying to pull votes away from Joe Biden. With Joe Biden not in the race and Kamala Harris in the race, his role didn't work anymore because most of the complaints about Joe Biden were he was old. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris is not, at least not by comparison to the other two major party candidates. So don't get too upset about this idea of RFK Jr. stepping out. It is not the win that Donald Trump wants it to be. He's going to try to play it up like it's a huge win. But it's not a big win. It's not a big deal. In fact, if anything, it helps Vice President Kamala Harris because it may shift some voters that were trying to find a way to not vote for Donald Trump to vote for her instead of shifting votes back to Donald Trump.